welcome to Bush School in the 87th Texas Legislature. I'm your co-host, Samantha Gordon, Bush School class of 2021 and current graduate assistant in the Bush School Communications Office.
And I'm Rebecca Schnell, also Bush School class of 2021 and also a graduate assistant for the Communications and External Relations Office. Thank you so much for joining us for our final episode of Bush School in the Texas Legislature.
That's right, Rebecca, our final episode. We're so excited to get started with our final guest, Kenya Robinson. Howdy, Kenya. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Howdy, my name is Kenya Robinson. I grew up in Grand Prairie, Texas, a suburb in between Dallas and Fort Worth. I am a 3+2 student graduating in May with a bachelor's in political science and journalism and a master of public administration with an emphasis in public policy analysis. After graduation, I would like to pursue a career in corporate social responsibility and public affairs, which I feel well prepared for because of my education at Texas A&M throughout undergrad and of course throughout the Bush School.
What does a day in the life of the legislative capstone look like?
Oh gosh. A day in the life of the legislative capstone, it's high energy, fast paced, unpredictable, and I love it. A typical day, especially in my office, includes getting to the Capitol at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and preparing my member's materials. So she has the tools she needs to analyze legislation that will be debated on the floor of the House chamber, and also preparing her hearing materials. So at the beginning of the session, due to COVID-19 restrictions, the Capitol was pretty dead, but most of the meetings we had with constituents and lobbyists and other advocacy groups were via Zoom. And now that more people are getting their vaccines, more people are coming into the Capitol, and our office, given the seniority of the member I work for, our office stays pretty busy, in addition to our workloads remaining very full. So it's been fun, it's been great. Like I said, it's an intense and fast-paced environment, but I've loved it so far.
So tell us a little bit about your specific member that you're working for.
Yes, so I work for Representative Toni Rose. She represents District 110. The district covers the southern part of Dallas County, which includes the communities of Oak Cliff, Highland Hills, Pleasant Grove, Balch Springs, and Mesquite. And given her seniority and her membership on what many consider the most important committees in the House, our office, again, like I said, is pretty busy, and many our staff, we all wear many hats and have various functions to help Rep. Rose successfully represent her constituents. Rep. Rose is vice chair of Article 2 on appropriations, which relates to the healthcare subsection of the state budget. She is vice chair of redistricting. She also serves on the calendars committee, which decides the placement of bills and resolutions on the state calendar. And finally, she serves on human services. So I love working for Representative Toni Rose. I really like it so far, and it's really been a joy working in her office and being a part of all these important committees in the legislature.
And now you're about to graduate in May, but is there anything that you are looking forward to from now until graduation in May during this Texas legislative session?
Yes, so I look forward to just continuing to be involved in the legislative process, the state budget process, and networking with other staffers, especially other Aggies that are in the Capitol. So the legislative process is a process you have to pick up pretty fast, and in order to help you have to pick it up pretty fast in order to help your member pass the legislation to help their constituents. So I started as a staffer that conducted research on my members' bills on severe mental illness, criminal justice, and healthcare, and I was able to transition to writing budget writers, meeting with lobbyists and other advocacy groups, and then even my member being able to come to me and say, "Hey, Kenya, what's going on in appropriations today?" Which, I think that was pretty cool. And then moving to my next point, just about the state budget, it's such a fast process that really requires you to remain organized and really communicate with your member on what their expectations are from you and how you can help them analyze the budget requests that they have coming to their office. So as I mentioned before, I got the opportunity to write some budget riders, which are basically like amendments to the budget, which instruct the state where and on what to spend specific amounts of money. And you have so many groups, especially with my member being a senior member and being vice chair of the subcommittee on Article 2 of appropriations. You have so many people coming to you say, hey, can you file this rider? Can you delete this rider? We want your support on this rider. So I remember one week we had like so many people coming into the office. Like as soon as we would sit down, like, okay, we're gonna get some work done. No, there was another group and another group coming in. So it was stressful a little bit, but it was still a good, interesting and fun experience. So like just because of that, you have so much information flowing in, and you have to be sure to analyze that effectively so we can help her make the best decisions. And I'm just looking forward to continuing on through this process. And budget night is coming up next week, and historically budget night is when the House budget is debated on the floor, and members usually attempt to add on amendments to the budget. And historically, from what I hear from a lot of veteran staffers or people that have been around the building for a long time, that these budget nights can last to 3 to 4 a.m. And a lot of staffers have already told me like, hey, just go ahead and bring your sleeping bag to work. And I'm like, sleeping bag? So I'm looking forward to that, and just being with my staff and helping Rep Rose out as the budget prepares to move on from the House to the Senate. So I'm also looking forward to, or I have enjoyed networking with other students, other lobbyists, people that I've met throughout the building. So earlier today, I found out there was one gentleman that we were working with who's an Aggie, and one of my classmates or an alumni said, hey, do you know this person? And I'm like, oh, that name doesn't ring a bell. I'm not sure. And then that person walks into the office. I'm like, oh yeah, I know this person. We worked on this bill together. And so it's really cool watching a lot of other Aggies in this space, whether they're a staffer, whether they work for advocacy group, whether they're, just a lobbyist. So it's really just really fun seeing a lot of Aggies in different spaces, and how they impact policy is one thing I'm looking forward to continuing to experience and will miss. But, I'm hoping I get to stay in this environment for as long as I can.
What skills do you hope to take away from this experience?
Yes, so I have taken away many skills from this experience so far. This capstone, this experience in the legislature has brought my analytical writing to a whole nother level. And I used to think, I was a great writer, that, that my writing was pretty good, but this has really improved my ability to write, to analyze legislation. And I've been able to write bill analysis for things like coordinating councils to employment fair practices, just on some of the bills that my members had. With the help of the senior staff in my office, again, my writing has really improved. And I think because of this and because of the staff that I've been able to be a part of, my writing skills is something that I know will be very marketable for the next job or opportunity I decide to apply for. And then also, my ability to write a budget rider, even though it's not that hard to write one, just knowing how it works and knowing the process, it helps when you see a 1,000-page document and you're like, oh my gosh, how do you write an amendment to the state budget? And you're like, okay, you just go to the strategy and you go to the department that you want to add the writer to. So it's really cool. I think it's really cool that I get to know that I do know how to write a budget rider. And then finally, my ability, I think, to handle lots of tasks and all at one time under lots of stress. The senior advisor in our office likes to say that everybody's task for you is important. Everybody has a deadline that they need you to do ASAP. So being able to prioritize and organize all of those competing priorities in such a short period of time. The Texas legislature, they only meet every odd year from January to May, unless the governor calls a special session. So you're really hustling to get stuff done, which can equate to long hours during the week and the weekend. So yeah, I'm usually working on the weekends, and may have to come in on Sunday to get some stuff done, but it's a really great learning experience. I tell people, unless you've actually been in the building, like, there's just some things you can't read in a textbook or hear from other people about the legislative process, especially the budget process. It's just a great learning experience, and I've enjoyed it so far. And I have so many stories, like when people say, oh, can you talk about this? Can you talk about this? So it's been a great experience, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Kenya, for joining us on this final episode of Bush School in the 87th Texas Legislature.
Yes, thank you so much, Kenya. And we want to give a special shout out to all of our guests that we've had this spring, as well as Dr. Bowman for setting this whole thing up. Thank you to our audience for tuning in for every episode. Sam, great job this spring.
Thank you, Rebecca. You too. We hope you've enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at the great work the Bush School is doing in the Texas Legislature. You can find all of our interviews from our video series online at the Bush School website.
Check out that website. We've enjoyed it. I'm Rebecca Schnell. Bye, Bush School.